An close game really all season long. They've had plenty of extra time to prepare for this challenge that Thompson brings. This feels like we're going to witness the classic build of an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. This should be a fun one tonight.
This should be a great game, Tim. You're exactly right. Make that trip north up into Clay Chalkville. The cozy confines of Jerry Hood Field, no doubt. Thursday night football can only mean one thing. That is a huge game is at hand. And, Tim, that's what we have here tonight.
We absolutely do. We'll be bringing you all of the action. Matthew, what do you think we learned about this Thompson team in the second half of the Vestavia game last Friday night in that dominant 35-3 outcome?
The second gear, the third gear, the fourth gear that we were looking for, certainly in the first half of that Carver game, and then again last Friday night. The Warriors have it. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Once in a while, it seems like it takes them a little bit to get into those gears. Boy, once they do, they are off to the races. The other thing that we learned is our defense is really darn good.
We are also thrilled to be joined yet again by Warrior Nation Network color analyst Brian Pavlik. Brian, it's hard to believe, but we're now over halfway through the 2025 regular season. I've laid out the scoring differential that Thompson has benefited from with the defense, especially, like Matthew has also pointed out, playing so consistently. What are some of the key numbers that help paint the 2025 story of the Warriors at this point of the season?
Well, happy Football Thursday to both of you. I mean, this is a wonderful environment. This is a fun atmosphere. It's going to be tight with you guys. We're surrounded by family and friends literally here as we have all the players and their parents around us. But one of the big numbers, Tim, is this is the most points per game that we have had in the first 5 games since 2021. So Matthew touched on the offense, on the defense. The offense is just as hot, and it starts with your junior quarterback, Trent Seaborn, who has been playing lights out, especially since region play has started. You get a little bit of that respite by going out of conference, out of classification, really, on a Thursday night in the middle of the season, but I don't look for the momentum to stop on offense. You've got 4 breakout wide receivers who are poised for another big game, and at some point, the running game has to pick up. I look for that, hopefully, to take a big stride this week to get ready for that second half of region play.
Let's flip the script here, Brian. Sitting at 5-0, these Cougars are no joke, and they're easily one of the best teams in the entire state. Tell us a little bit more about what this Clay Chalkville team brings to the field and maybe some of our most recent history with them.
It's not just a team. It is the entire program. They've been a school for about 30 or so years now. 26 of those 30 years have been winning seasons. So they know how to win, especially here at Jerry Hood Field. I mean, that's a 73% winning percentage they bring in. We look at the banner up on the field house right now. There's been 4 state championships. And then 3 of the last 5 years, they've started 5-0. 2 of those seasons, they went on to go undefeated. And you mentioned the history with us. 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. That's the difference in the last 3 games. Clay Chalkville, a 2-1 edge against Thompson, all those games at Warrior Stadium. This is the first time we've been here in almost 3 decades, and it feels like it's been a while since we've been here.
Let's now go ahead and continue to profile the Warriors specifically as Brian has tonight's starting lineup full of notable faces presented by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
who are we set to see under the lights tonight?
I apologize, Tim. I got excited, but there's going to be no change really to the offense because it's guys that we have been calling all season, starting with that junior quarterback, Trent Seaborn. He is now over 8,000 total yards in his career, 8,077 if I'm being precise. Well on his way to breaking all state records if he continues at a okay to average pace. But again, he will have these sparks and these spikes. He has had 1 400-yard game in his career. I don't know if I'm predicting 400 tonight, but I'm predicting he should have some good yardage. And that will come in the hands of Darian Mosley, Dedrick Kimbrough, Price Lewis, and if needed, don't forget blocking tight end, but occasionally going out in the open, Tanner Eamon. And then that line has been reshuffled, it's been reorganized, but it's still a dominant group of Connor Cannell, Parker Middlestat, Leighton Wall, Jared Fikes, and Tommy Williams. They have to establish and dominate up front if the Warriors want to do anything, especially on the ground.
There's your starting lineups. There's so much more to get into here on the Warrior Nation Network in mere moments.
But give you the defense.
I want to go ahead and get to the defense.
I mean, the defense is going to be the thing. Matthew set it up beautifully. I mean, we're talking minuscule number of points. If we hold these guys to under 10 or so, guys, then we've got a lot to talk about in the postgame. So let's not get excited here. But the bottom line is it has to start with the defensive front. That is going to be Ami Mawala. That is going to be Big Noah Streeter. And then you've got Cam Pritchett. And then your outside linebackers. That is going to be the key because you're going to see a lot of run-pass option, 70% or so being that run pull by the quarterback. So you're looking at Kevin Davis. You're looking at Chauncey Allo. They should have big nights where they're in position to tackle. They need to tackle in space. And then if it gets into the secondary, if you pull it down and throw it by the Cougars, you've got Mr. INT Eli King looking to build on 3 interceptions this season. DeMonte Tab, who had a heck of a game. Matthew talked about it on the coaches show last night at Buffalo Wild Wings. And you've also got back there, I'm looking at it, Micah Fleming, who had a wonderful game. And another pick last week, Terry Robinson. Talent meets talent in Clay Chalkville tonight.
Let's talk about some of the all-important weather conditions in tonight's contest. As it's currently 74 degrees, we expected some scattered storms to play a factor tonight, but I will tell you right now, looking at the sky around us, it is absolutely beautiful, and I surely hope it stays that way in the area this evening. But could the weather play a major factor in tonight's game? We will keep you posted. This weather report's been brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Speaking of B-Dubs, Matthew, you had the privilege of sitting down with head coach Mark Freeman at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Alabaster last night. He had a lot to say about practicing like champions.
He absolutely did. It's something that they really focus on. Stay locked in. Make sure that you're following your assignments. It doesn't matter if it's practice or in the game. It's something that they really, really focus on. Always enjoy being with him over at Buffalo Wild Wings on a Wednesday night of an away game week. So, he had a lot of insight on that practice. Really, really, really enjoyed spending that time with him last night.
If you're looking for the perfect food to pair with football all weekend long, you can get all your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings food, sauces, and other favorites for delivery or takeout. Order online or in the app and get your wings fix fast. Thank you to everyone tuning in on Facebook, the NFHS Network, and at ThompsonWarriors.org. We'll be right back with more of our countdown to kickoff here on the Warrior Nation Network.
$20, I can name all 26 beat-up sauces.
Tim just found out his job's a pyramid scheme.
Oh, okay.
Would hearing about the sauces cheer you up?
Mango habanero, Nashville hot, Shaman jalapeno, mild, wild, medium.
I'm Dr. Michael Patterson. I'm the team physician for Thompson Warriors. This will be my 16th year on the sideline, and we're excited about the upcoming season. I'm also excited to be partnering with Baptist Health as Baptist Health Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. We continue to provide state-of-the-art sports medicine and orthopedics and return our athletes in a safe and timely manner. We understand the importance of early evaluation and returning our patients back to their active lifestyle. Go Warriors!
Welcome.
Work on some of the things that we need to, especially since they have 4 region games after this one. It's just another opportunity to get better. But one concern coming into this game, and I want to show you, is just how close the end zone is to this outside fence. If I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps in the fence. So one of the concerns here tonight is if they throw a deep ball into the end zone, they may run into the fence. That's one thing they're aware of and that they will make adjustments to. But just know, guys, here on the sideline, it is very tight on both end zones and on the sideline. So everybody's kind of crunched in here a little bit, but they said they'll adjust and make moves where they need to, guys.
Christina, stay safe down there. That's the number one thing we want you to do. Christina will be bringing us updates all game long. It's now time for the all-important Keys to Victory presented by Full Moon Barbecue and delivered to us by lead Warrior Nation Network analyst Brian Pavlik.
Well, no apropos meaning of the tweak that the kids had at school than into the wild. This is a brand new environment for us, first time in decades. And the first thing you got to do is weather the storm. That's not just on the field. Last year, Clay Chalkville started with an 18-play drive that went over 8 minutes. So you've got to get used to the players on the field. You've got to get used to the atmosphere around, as Christina showed you, a tight arena football-style stadium, if you will. So get used to it quick. Then you've got to execute on third downs. You've got to use your instinct, and you've also got to use your abilities to stop. Because, again, how did we perform on the field? Well, we went 2 for 9 last year on third down. Go with your instincts, find ways to move the chains, and stay on the field. And then number 3, strike early, strike often. Cougars, they paw aggressively. Become a Cougar tonight. 10 of your touchdown drives this year, 4 plays or less.
Great stuff there. Speaking of weathering the storm, our Video Visions media marketing team has been prepared to do that here in Clay this evening. Hopefully that will not be something that affects either the broadcast or the play on the field tonight. Matthew, one thing that's so important in a game like tonight is trying to get out of here not only with the win, but with a healthy outcome. There's a lot to accomplish tonight, and the entire rest of the season is ahead of us. I pray for us to have no injury reports the entire evening.
I couldn't agree with that more. One of the things that we talked about with Coach Freeman last night on the coaches show is, hey, you've got 3 opportunities to select games. Why are they always such colossal matchups? He says, Matthew, it gives us an opportunity to have great film on our players, great teaching opportunities down the line as, good Lord willing, we make the playoffs. But even more than that, on that film, they're looking across the line at really good players. That's what Clay Chalkville is going to have again tonight, as they have over the last couple of years. Really good players, disciplined players, and fast players gives our Warriors an opportunity to learn and grow as we move toward December.
Brian, we have talked about the tight quarters here that we're experiencing in the stands, what they're experiencing down on the field. I think that could really help us actually with the Marching Southern Sounds, who you hear right now behind us. That can turn this around to be a real advantage for us with that program doing what they do.
You could line up 5 tubas and you would be on the playing surface from where that bottom tuba is, and I'm not joking about that, folks. I spent a good 40 minutes just walking the field, just finding out exactly how tight it is. And when you think about other outside of the game factors, including band logistics and getting the TVs and the tents and the drone set up, it gets even tighter. So now when you've got big bodies, and we will have some size that we will talk about on both sides, when they're all clashing, it's literally like watching a game in your backyard.
Speaking of being out here in the backyard, Matthew, I ask you to wear a lot of hats. I want you to look over to our right and look at the cotton candy sky that is here right over. This is a beautiful shot right over the Marching Southern Sounds. We were prepared in our communication all week long to be sitting here in ponchos in a torrential downpour. I like this outcome much better. I mean, this is a great setting for some high school football.
Well, if you don't think that God has a sense of humor, number 1, starting us off this week with a 90% chance of rain. But number 2, if you don't think that he loves a great football game, look at that sunset right now. That is him just smiling down on this colossal matchup tonight.
I see some red peeking through all the blue, too. Maybe an almond.
I love it. We're getting ready for the national anthem here at Jerry Hood Field. We will go ahead and turn our attention here to the flag as we honor our country with some great football that's about to kick off. The lights, the passion, the sounds, the tradition. This is Alabama high school football at its very best.
Airs one out to the right-hand side, looking for Lewis and got him. Beautiful catch at the 24-yard line.
Every week, rivalries are renewed. Stars rise to the occasion, and the community of Alabaster gathers together to outwork them all. From the opening kickoff to the final whistle, Matthew Moyer, Brian Pavlik, and Tim Melton bring you the heart, hustle, and hard-nosed football you won't want to miss here on the Warrior Nation Network.
Back to Pasco Seaborn. Let's one on the right side. Inside the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Warriors. Touchdown, Diedrich Kimbrough.
The energy's electric, the stakes are high, and tonight, it's all on the line. This is Thompson Warrior football. It kicks off right now.
Friday Night Lights on a Thursday night, it can only mean one thing. A huge game is about to take place. Tonight, our Warriors have made the trip north to take on the Cougars of Clay Chalkville. The 3 previous games been decided by a total of 3 points. Our Warriors took the first game, but the Cougars bounced back and have taken the last 2. Last year, a 1-point win in overtime. Both teams entered tonight's game highly ranked in their respective divisions within the state of Alabama. As I bring in Brian Pavlik. Brian, the biggest challenge for the Warriors tonight may not be the opponent. It may very well be the actual dimensions of which can only be defined as cozy.
You know, that banner right there says a lot. It feels like we're in a cage because it's so close. We were all on top of each other. And for the slightest moment when I was walking the field, I was nervous. I thought the elements were going to get to us. And if we let it get into our mind that, oh, this isn't supposed to be here or we're supposed to be here, it was going to affect the team's mentality. But the reception the team just got coming from the locker room to go behind the banner shows that the Warrior faithful, the Warrior Nation is here. We are loud, and we will make the difference here in these elements that we haven't seen in quite some time. I am excited to see this team perform close up. Literally, I mean, we are close. We got good seats. You did good. Whoever you paid for this week, Matthew, you did well, man.
Well, one thing that I find very encouraging, we saw it a couple of weeks ago as we made the trip up 119 to do battle with the Oak Mountain Eagles. Here again tonight, we could switch sides with the home stands because the Warrior Nation has traveled so well. We could absolutely fill that home side just as we could have a couple of weeks ago up in Oak Mountain. What are you really excited about? I mean, what a huge game. What a blessing to be here, to be able to announce this game. What are you really looking forward to tonight?
At the end of the day, it is 2 of the premier programs in the state of Alabama, and what an honor to call. If we were calling and we were doing the broadcast for Clay Chalkville, we'd be just as excited as Thompson coming to our house as we are playing Clay Chalkville. And I think there is a mutual respect between the 2 teams. You have to if you've played within 1 point for 3 consecutive years. And now we get to be a visitor in their home for once. So it's a respect, but it's also healthy competition. For both of these teams, the next half of the year, we are going to have moments where we're going to look back and say, remember the Clay Chalkville game, or remember what we did in the Thompson game. So this is a great halfway friendly, as they call it in soccer, where you just put 2 good teams on the field in front of a local audience, in front of a statewide television audience, and of course here on the Warrior Nation Network, say, boys, play ball and entertain the crowd. We're getting our money's worth tonight.
Are you a routine guy? Are you a superstitious guy? And the reason I ask you that is this. I always put my left sock on first, and from there I have a routine that I like to go through. I am very much a routine guy. Last night during the coaches show, Coach Freeman said, this place puts us out of our routine. They dressed in Alabaster and were dressed on the bus coming up here. He said, Matthew, it's the only road trip that we make where we do that. How does that affect our team tonight?
It's little things. We talked about just the logistics of giving a team from Alabaster to Clay. Then you've got to get the band. Then you've got to get the equipment, the sideline, the chairs, the tent. I even helped set up the tent tonight. That's out of my routine, but that's out of the coach's routine.
You're an overachiever.
I like to help out when I can. Plus, I want to feel like I'm part of the team
There you
in
go.
my glory days. But here you are. It's even 14 minutes on the scoreboard here to our left, and our team is already on the field staring down the banner. So we are already out of our routine. I hope they're not in a routine focus, but I'll tell you what this shows me. They're ready, and they don't care about the elements. They just want to play football. That's exciting regardless if they're in a routine or not.
And so that begs the question, why are we 13 minutes and 35 seconds away from kickoff? Very simple answer. This game is televised in at least portions of the state, if not throughout the state. And so that kickoff will be a little bit different for that. One way that you absolutely know that this is a big game, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to call it, say, 15 media members right in front of us. Oddly enough, 12 of those 15 are facing the Warriors. 3 of them are facing the other way. You just know, you can feel it in the air. You and I got here a couple of hours ago, and the electricity was already here. This is going to be a huge game tonight. Brian, one thing that I think is going to be very important, the Warriors need to establish a run game. What do you think's been, I don't know if it's holding us back, what's been off so far?
Yeah, and again, this goes back to the very first point that we made on the very first broadcast in the rain in the field house when we were playing Carver. We have an inexperienced line that really has had to be pieced together. When you lose 4 senior offensive starting linemen, that's tough. You bring back 1 senior offensive lineman in Parker Middlestat, who we have pointed out even as frequent as last game, he was moving into different spots just to find the right rhythm, routine, and the right formula. So when you have all of these different things, you are trying to make the line grow up in a hurry, and you're doing it only in the best region in the state of Alabama, and some would say in the southeast. As you can hear, the band is ready too. So when you are on that offensive line, when you're on that defensive line, it's not just people yelling at you. You've got the noise, you've got the elements. Again, tubas, trombones right on top of you. It's all kinds of things, but I do think it's just more youth getting that line established.
Well, one thing you can certainly hear with no doubt is the marching Southern Sounds are fired up. They're ready to go. They're literally 20 feet to our right, and so we're going to do our best to come away with this game with some voice left over. One thing that I really hope that we can see get going tonight, we've got a tight end, 6'4", 6'5". He's a 4-star. Every single time I turn on social media, this young man is visiting somewhere else. Somehow or another, we've got to get Tanner Eamon involved in this offense a little bit more.
Watching film on Tanner before the season, I said that is one of the best downfield blockers I have seen at any level.
You called me from that practice and said, Matthew, wait till you see this guy.
He blocked a kid for 16 yards down the field, held it for 7 seconds, and it was all legal. Now, there have been times where he is lined up in that H-back position, and we have overloaded the line, and we have run behind him for these short 2-3 yard touchdowns by RJ, KJ, or UJ. We saw a glimpse of it last week. He had a big first down against Vestavia. If he gets a few receptions with his big body, he is that perfect second and short, third and short, dump off, let him run and pick up some extras, yard after the catch receiver. Maybe could break one. He's had one over 90 yards before. He has the speed. He can blow some people out. You just got to find the ball. But when you've got 4 receivers and when you've got 3 running backs, you just got to spread the wealth. Again, wealth of choices. Pick who you want.
So I watched quite a bit of the video coming out of the University of Alabama 7-on-7 championship where our Warriors came away with the big trophy there. Tanner was the difference. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that, I thought, boy, oh boy, when you look at our receivers, it is almost an embarrassment of talent at our wide receiver position. And we saw that last week in the second half of that Vestavia game. When we went to a 4 wide receiver set, that game was over. And so when you've got that kind of talent at the wide receiver and you're trying to figure out how to guard those 4 amazing guys, all of a sudden, oh, by the way, we've got a 6'4" guy that weighs over 230